Well, today we've got unboxing and we're playing about with electronics today. Now this came through from eBay and it was only about £5 and it's an LED strip light and you get the little mounting bracket in there. Got the strip light itself, the cable, the connector. Now it says that these can be chained together and they're ideal for underneath things like kitchen cabinets or to put up in cupboards. So let's have a look at what we've got. We've got instructions, which doesn't look like they're in English. French, German, Italian. English, but we don't need that. And mounting bracket and how to. But let's have a look at the unit itself. So this is an LED and according to this it's a 5-watt warm white. And you can see it's in a typical package, very similar to the tube lights that you used to buy. On the end here we've got a 3-pin connector and at the other got a 3-pin. Now immediately, so obviously the mains cable, it does actually have 3 wires. I thought they might have skipped the earth, but they do have the 3 wires and connector, all with Chinese writing on it, which says 250 volts 2.5 amp rating on the wire, so that would clip into there. So the thing to be slightly wary of is they're not particularly protruding, but obviously those will be carrying mains, so just something to be aware of. Now again, most of these things typically they come from China, they're imports, they don't pass a lot of UK safety checks. Now I've just noticed on it does have the CE logo, but that will be fake because it's always fake on these things. Just having a look at how it holds together. The end plastic pins are quite tight actually, so I think what we'll do is I'll put a plug on it, we'll see what it works like, and then we'll see. So I think we'll be able to take it apart by taking the screws out either end, and we'll see what's inside it. But so far it seems okay. It's covered in plastic around the outsides, so there's nothing to worry about there. I am a little bit concerned that this is metal and probably conducting, so let's hope the earth is there. So I tell you what, let's put a plug on it, try it, and we'll also do some tests with the multimeter and see how safe it is. So what I've done, put a plug on. That's only got a 3 amp fuse in it just to make sure. And next thing we'll do, we'll bring the meter in and we'll take a look and see what the continuity is like, make sure that the earth's working, that kind of thing. So what I'll do is put the meter round onto continuity, and yes, I need some new probes for my meter. I've destroyed them, so looks like we're going to be getting a new one of those shortly. So the first thing is this actually wired up properly? So let's check the earth. That's a good sign. So the earth wire is connected and there's no continuity on the others, so that's a good sign. Now the bit I'm interested in is, let's just see if I can change the balance a little bit here. Okay, that's a bit better. So what I'm a little bit concerned about is this sort of metal-like casing. I'm not sure if it is metal and if it's earthed or not. So let's see what we get out of it. So let's plug it into the wire here. And if I put my clip onto the earth, then in theory, oh, there we go. So it is actually grounded. So the metal casing is grounded, which is good. Also, Yep, the ground is carried through. Now let's check to see whether ground is reaching live or neutral. No, so we don't have a dead short. So I think we'll be able to plug this in and see what light it gives out. We'll see what it looks like. Had to move over a little bit so where I can reach the socket. So it's plugged in and turned on. So this is probably going to swamp the camera, so we'll see what it's like. There we go. That worked pretty good actually. It gives out a moderate amount of light. Yeah, that's alright. So I think what we'll do is we'll see if we can take it apart, take a quick look inside it. Now I think the screws holding it together, or at least the clips holding it together, will be underneath. Ah yes, so looks like we can pop the plastic ends off like this. So let's give this a try at this end. I would like to do this without damaging it because I would like to use this. Let's see if we can prise the end off. Not quite sure what that is. Piece of mysterious metal appearing. Right, okay. Let's just go in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm looking at. So on the end here there's a little piece of metal. Now that touches up against the housing and that looks like it carries the earth. And then the live and the neutral are stamped on. I can see the driver circuitry in there, and I can also see the row of LED lights. So you can see the driver circuitry and the row of LEDs. There we go. Can slide that off. And you can see the LEDs are on one of these sort of plastic-like sheets, and we've got 1, 2, 3. 24 LEDs in the strip. Now I think, yeah, these will also just slide out. Now it looks like everything is done from this end. So that's the end that would have joined onto the extra chain, and this is the supply end with the on-off switch. So let's see if we can, so you see we can slide the LEDs out. I'm not quite sure how we'd slide the driver circuit out. Let's see if we can tease it out. So I've taken the other end out, which is the end with the switch, and again it's exactly the same. So the only way of getting the driver circuit out would be to cut the wires on it, but looking what they've done is the switched end goes straight from the mains to the switch. So if you did switch that on, it would switch the entire chain on at the same time. And they've used both brown wires for live and neutral at this end as well. So it's just something to be aware of if you're looking at one of these. So one final test I want to do is to find out what voltage are the LEDs being driven at. So what we'll do is bring the meter in, put that on voltage. And what we're doing, carefully plug this in. Bearing in mind that's at mains voltage inside the socket. Bring that round here. Now turn it on, and it immediately swamps the camera out. But what I'll do is I'll go on to these 2 points here, and it's driving them at 34 volts. So the LEDs are being driven at around about 1.4 volts each, which is a little bit high that they're being driven at. I'm assuming that the driver circuitry is controlling the current to them, but looking at the circuit board, it looks like they're being driven in parallel, because I can vaguely make out tracks that track between each of the LEDs. So we've got a common rail running along and then in to each LED and out again. So the downside to this is that if one of the LEDs blows or goes over current, then the whole strip will fail. But typically, if they're not driven too hard, which 1.4 isn't too bad, it should last for quite a long time.